Hello student. So we are studying about the recursion functions in a C programming. So what is a recursion? Recursion is a function which calls itself. Okay, the same function will be calling itself is called as a recursion. And in yesterday's class we have seen the example of a recursion. So this is a handshake example. Here the one person is handshaking with the other person, and we are going to calculate how many number of times he has done the handshake, right? So for that we are going to use a recursion. So this is the technique. It is used to solve many problems. So we in yesterday's class we have solved the factorial of means how to calculate the factorial. Then this is the working of a recursion. How does it work? So you can see we have a main method. Inside a main method we have called the recurse function. So it will go to a function definition. Then inside a function definition it will call the recurse function again. So this process continues until we reaches to a base condition. So base conditions are the conditions or the statement when the recursion function reaches to that particular statement, or when it satisfies that time the recursion function stops and it will start solving the bigger problem. Yes, so this is the example of a factorial. This all we have solved in yesterday's class, and we have compared the recursion with the iterative solution. So today in this video we will see one more example of recursion. So program statement is sum of natural numbers using a recursion. So here we need to find sum of n natural numbers. So the same program can be solved using for loop, or it can be solved using while loop. But in this session we are solving this problem with using recursion technique. So you can see this particular statement. Here we are declaring the function. So function name is what? Sum. Name of the function is sum. And here we are passing only one parameter, because our program statement is sum of natural numbers, n natural numbers. So we need to give n number of how many number of natural numbers we want to add. That count we need to give as a input to this particular function. So the input value will be of integer type. So we are declaring the parameter as int n. Next, this particular function will perform addition of n natural numbers or sum of n natural numbers, and the result will be in the form of integer. So we are specifying return type as a int. Next, inside a main method we have declared two local variables. One is a number, another one is a result. Both are of integer type. So many times we have told this is a fourth category of calling a function. Means while calling a function we are passing the parameters, even the function will return the result. So whatever the called function is going to return the value, that value must be stored in a variable. So that's what we are declaring two variables here. The result variable, which will hold the result, means the output value, and number is a variable which holds the input value. So printf, enter a positive integer. So we read a positive integer. So we will read number as 3. Okay, so that 3 we will store inside a number variable. Next, in the next statement, here we are calling the function sum. You can notice here we are calling a function sum, and to this function we are passing a parameter number. Okay, so the value of number is 3. So the input value which we are giving is 3. Okay, so 3 will be stored in n. This 3 means this is the actual parameter, this is a formal parameter. When we perform the function call, the value which is there in a actual parameter will be copied inside a formal parameters. Next, if n factorial is equals to 0. So here we are checking the condition, means we are testing the condition where n is not equals to 0. Okay, so if it is 0, means if it is not equals to 0, if condition is true, then we call the sum function, and we are not passing anything here. Okay, else it will come to a, means if it is not equals to 0, now 3 is not equals to 0, the condition is true. The condition is true means the control will come to this statement. This is not correct, this particular, this we need to put in a comment. Okay, so in n we have stored 3. We are testing the condition is that 3 is not equals to 0. Condition is true. Then control will come to this particular statement. 3 plus sum of 3 minus 1. Okay, so we will solve this paint. So 3 plus sum of 3 minus 1. So 3 minus 1 means what? 2. So 3 plus sum of 2. So here the new value of n is 2. Next we need to check the condition. Is that 2 is not equals to 0. So condition is true. So again it will come to a recursion statement. That time return 2 plus sum of 2 minus 1, that is 1. So we need to find n factorial. Next again we need to test the condition. 1 factorial is not equals to 0. Yes, condition is true. Then we need to go to a return statement. Return 1 plus sum of 1 minus 1, that is 0. So again we need to go back to a function definition. Next again we need to test a condition. Is that 0 is not equals to 0. So this condition become false. This condition is false. So if once this condition become false, it will come to a else part. So in a else part you can see we are writing return n, means n value we need to return to a its calling function. So it will return n value. So what is the n value? It is the n value is 0. So 0 is written, 0 plus 1 is 1. Again 1 will be written here. Okay, so 2 plus 1 is 3. Then 3 will be written here. 3 plus 3 is 6. So the result of our program is what? 6. You can see here. So this way the recursion functions works. Here you can notice until and unless we won't reaches to a base condition, the program will keep on working. So you can see this diagram. This is 0 is not equals to 0. This is our base condition. So when we reaches to a base condition, it will return value to, it will return back to a calling function, means here it will come. So next the output of this particular function is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. So from here again it will go to this particular part. So result is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. So again this 3 will be written here. So 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 will be returned to a calling function. So here in this result variable 6 will be stored. Okay, next again we have a printf statement to execute sum equals to %d result. So in a result we have stored 6 as a value, and that we are printing. So input value is 3 and result is 6. So this is the example of recursion. How does it work? So you can see the graphical representation. We pass input value, it will come here, we test the condition. So condition is true, then here 3 minus 1, that is integer value is 2, again 2 minus 1, integer value is 1, so 1 minus 1 is, n value is 0. So when it is 0, the value is returned back to its called function, means its calling function. So here it is a calling function of this particular function, so value will be returning back and we will be calculating the problem. So this is how we can solve the recursion in a means we can use the recursion technique and we can solve we can calculate the sum of n natural numbers. So remaining things we'll see in a next video.